17 years ago from the day that I'm filming this, I started journaling. It was November 4th, 2008. I was 6 years old. I certainly did not know that that journal entry was going to lead me to where I am today. I thought we would do a little journaling marathon. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. So for those of you who don't know, a journaling marathon is basically just when you journal for an extended period of time. It's a term that I randomly came up with when I did my first journaling marathon. And from what I can remember, when I've done my past journaling marathons, I typically have a bunch of different things that I want to write about. This time around, that is not the case. I don't have a laundry list of things that I want to write about or things that I've gotten behind on that I've been meaning to write about. I really honestly feel like there's not much that I'm actively wanting to write about. But I thought that would be a really interesting way to begin a journaling marathon. And I think I almost don't even want to use that many colors and things. I really enjoy a good creative journal entry. I try to incorporate some sort of color in almost all of my journal entries. I've been doing that for the past couple years or so. But today, I think I almost just want to write and just see what happens. Also, I am getting really close to finishing this journal. It's taken me a hot minute to finish this one, but look how much I have left. It's only about 20 pages. I could finish it today if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to write 20 pages. At least I don't intend to, because if you've been following me, you know that I film a video whenever I finish a journal, and I also film a video whenever I start my next journal. And because I journal every day, that means I have to film those videos back to back. So even though I post them a week apart, I film them 2 days in a row. So I'm filming this journaling marathon video, so depending on how many pages I write, I might be filming the ending this journal and starting the next journal videos sometime this week. But I kind of don't want to film them tomorrow and the next day, so I think I might have the goal of writing about 15 pages or so in here. That way I have like 5 more pages left and can just write 1 page a day for 5 days and film the videos in a little bit. So this is just going to be a little mini journaling marathon. I think in my first one I wrote like 30 pages, but for the most part I almost always write just 1 page a day. So doing 15 pages is definitely a big jump. Oh, I cannot believe I'm getting close to finishing this journal. Honestly, it's probably going to be next week's video. You'll probably see it next week when I finish this journal. And then the one after that will be starting my next one. And I need to figure out what journal I want to start because I have no plans for which journal I'm going to write in next. Also, while I'm sitting here before I start my journal entry, I'm definitely procrastinating by just talking a bunch. But I see my 100,000 subscriber plaque right here, and I feel like I just have to recognize the fact that would largely not be possible without journaling. My channel, as you guys know, is focused a lot on journaling, and to think that when I started journaling 17 years ago, that not only it would completely transform my life in the ways that actually writing has transformed me, but also the opportunities it's created through this YouTube channel, being able to connect with thousands of you, how it's inspired other people to journal as well. It really is mind-blowing. Anyway, this is kind of an awkward angle to be talking right now, so let's go ahead and start the journal entry. I'm going to start it just as I always do, where I write the day of the week, the time that I start the journal entry, and the date. So today is Tuesday, and it is 11:05 a.m. and it is November 4th. I almost wrote that it was 2008. It is not 2008. It is 2025. That's crazy that in just 3 years, it'll be 20 years since I started journaling. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be 26. I feel as if it is only fitting for me to use the Ultimate Journaling Army Pack in this journal entry because this is one of the many opportunities that journaling has created for me, and the Lord, of course. I can't fail to mention that the Lord has been the one that has created all of this for me, and journaling throughout my life has enabled me to see all of the ways that the Lord has worked in my life. But I digress. This journaling pack would not be possible if it wasn't for this whole journaling journey, this YouTube channel, you guys, the Lord's work in my life. And so on this 17 years of journaling, I think that it would be especially sweet to use this Ultimate Journaling Army Pack. I love how I said I wasn't going to use much color in this journal entry and just do a lot of writing, and then here I am using color. What should I even do? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on how I should start this. what we have for page 1, it says, in honor of 17 years of journaling, I thought it would be fun to do a journaling marathon. And it's just in a bunch of rainbow colors. And then I wrote, praise God that I have 17 years of my life written down and almost 9 of those years with everyday writing. So let's add more, shall we? The more journaling, the merrier, I guess. After this page, I think I want this entry to be a slow, reflective, perhaps personal entry. So I might go back to my roots of just a simple pen and paper, no color, but we'll see. I think I might want to use color just to maybe write headings of different topics of what I'm writing about. Because if I'm about to write, 10, 15 pages, or however much I end up writing, I feel like instead of having just paragraph after paragraph after paragraph on all these pages, it would maybe be nice to at least write a little header of what I'm writing about. The only thing though is that I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be writing about. So for all I know, I'm just going to have this one long, free-flowing, non-structured string of thoughts. These are the kinds of things that I overthink even after journaling for 17 years. Anyway, let's get to writing. I have my Bible study later, so I wanna make sure I get some writing done. I decided I'm also gonna listen to some hymns while I'm writing. I'm excited, this is gonna be fun. I got my little coffee. I actually do want to read what I have so far because this isn't anything super personal. Also, this lamp, ignore it. I have 2 lamps that are by my desk and I usually move them around while I'm filming, but when I have the camera facing me, I'll usually move it behind the camera to help with the lighting. But then I moved it back since I'm journaling here. It doesn't really matter. I wanted better lighting while I was journaling and I'm too lazy to move it right now. I just finished my 3rd page and I just wrote, so let's begin at the top, just using my black pen. And I don't think I'm gonna do any other headings because I like the flow that's going on here. I decided though to start writing about gray hair. That's just what I felt like writing about in the moment when I had nothing on my mind to write about. Hold on, let me actually adjust the camera so that my head's not being cut off. I realized in a lot of my past videos, I cut my head off in a lot of the videos where the frame goes up to my forehead or so I'm trying to be better about making sure I'm completely in frame. Anyway, I'm a little jittery right now because I finished my latte very quickly. Let me read what I have so far. I said, one thing I don't think I've ever actually written about is my gray hair. Yes, I have gray hair at the ripe old age of 23. Nothing crazy at all, but definitely picking up and becoming a bit more noticeable. I don't know if you guys have noticed it either. I'm sure some of you have, especially because I had like 2 here that I've been growing out for a little while. Because when I first started noticing that I was getting gray hair in high school, which I say in the next sentence, I would always just pluck it out because I was like, it's just one gray hair. And then there were 2 here that I plucked out, and as they were growing out, they would like stick out like little antennas, and I felt like they were so noticeable with my dark brown hair. So I've been trying to grow it out so that it could just be as long as the rest of my hair and just embrace the gray hair. But I've been noticing it more when I'm watching myself in videos or taking pictures of myself. I've been seeing my little gray hairs. But let me keep reading. I'm getting distracted. I got my first gray hair in high school. To my knowledge, it's not genetic in my family to get gray hair so early. I wouldn't be surprised if it was from unnecessary amounts of stress growing up and then the fast-paced lifestyle I adopted throughout college, but regardless, my plan for now is to embrace the gray. I heard a quote once that said, "Oh, how the dead cringe at our resistance to age." I have no idea where I heard that, but that was striking to me when I heard that. And I said, it's stuck with me. It truly is a privilege to age. And Proverbs 16:31 says, gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained in a righteous life. So although I'm not excited at the thought of graying early, I recognize the beauty of it. And that's what I hope to hold on to if I ever feel pressured into dyeing it. But who knows, maybe I'll change my mind. I just wouldn't want to do it for the wrong reasons. And then I wrote that my husband, he always says how beautiful I'll look with gray hair. He says he can't wait for me to have gray hair and that I should go full salt and pepper. I told him it might look like he's dating a little old lady. Having a husband that is excited at the thought of aging together is a true joy. And on the topic of years and years of journaling, I have so many journals filled to the brim of entries of a young girl that never expected to marry a man like him. Oh, how sweet it is to live this life with him. I praise Jesus when I think of growing old together. I also think it's lovely that my journals have captured my mind as it's aged. How special is that to have? And so I decided I wanted to read that because I felt like it was kind of fitting with this whole theme of the 17 years journaling anniversary. Obviously, I am still very young and I have mostly not gray hair. It's really nothing crazy, but you know, I've been noticing more and more popping up, and who knows when I'll actually be full salt and pepper or fully gray. I still got a ways to go, but I just think it's beautiful that my journals have captured the aging process. You can see it in my handwriting, the way that I'm writing, what I'm writing about, how I've matured over the years, and just how my life has grown and changed. I think that is so beautiful, and to think about how all of my future journals will carry those same things, obviously different things because I haven't lived that life yet, but the same things of documenting my life, capturing those things, capturing that growth. I think that's so wonderful. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to journaling. I think I'm gonna move over to the couch now that I'm done with my latte, and I'll have a little cozy journal on the couch sesh. And before I do that, I wanted to show you guys these beautiful flowers. We have a little collection of flowers right now because I got these from the store and I thought they were perfect for fall. They smell so good and they're so beautiful. And then these flowers, I went to my friend's baby shower the other day and they did a little bouquet making thing for a baby in bloom. This leaf just fell off. And these flowers are blooming. We have this beautiful yellow one. I don't know the names of flowers enough. These really pretty purple ones, and this one is kind of flimsy and dying. There's an orange one. This one, literally a couple days ago, was closed in a dark pink little bud, and then it's just totally blossomed and bloomed. I feel like that is also pretty fitting for the topic of today's video. Growing, maturing, blooming, the documentation of life. I think that's so beautiful. Oh, another leaf fell off. That's like my gray hair. The leaves falling off, the hair graying. Now let's get back to journaling. Cozy little journaling session on the couch. I might take a lunch break at some point soon, but I feel like I need to at least write a little bit more before I do. Finished eating lunch and I decided to come journal out on our patio. It is such a beautiful day out. I love journaling out here so much. And my husband and I, we love sitting out here and chatting together. So far, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages in. I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna be journaling, but I figured I'd at least do it outside. Alright guys, I am back inside now. I ended up stopping at 12 pages. I don't know if you would consider that a full journaling marathon. Maybe it's more like a half marathon. Actually, let me know what you think. How many pages constitutes a journaling marathon? Does it need to be a certain number, or is it just sitting down and writing more than what you typically do? Because 12 pages is a lot more than what I normally write, but it wasn't all day, you know? Maybe a journaling marathon is dependent on time that you're writing and not the number of pages you do. Like, what if you spend all day doing beautiful artistic journal entries on like 4 pages? Would that make it a journaling marathon? I don't know. Anyway, it was 12 pages with just my pen and my journal. And aside from the first page, I didn't use any color. And honestly, it was really nice to just sit with a pen and write. I ended up not writing any headers either, like I had thought of maybe doing, just because I got in a really good flow of writing. I feel like one thing just led into the other, and then I felt like I was at a really natural stopping point at the end of 12 pages. I definitely could have kept coming up with other things to write about, but it felt like a really good natural break, and so that's why I decided to come inside and call it a day with my journal entries. I actually will be leaving for my Bible study here in a little bit too, which was really good timing. I think that was the perfect way to spend my 17-year journaling anniversary. What's crazy is that next year, with my 18 years of journaling, my journals will be an adult. They will be the age of an adult, you know, like that. That is crazy. Oh, also, I left off on page 248 and there's 256 pages in this journal. So I have less than 10 pages, officially less than 10 pages, until I finish this journal, which means that my next video that you see will probably most likely be me finishing this journal, and then the one after that will be starting my next one. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I sincerely am so grateful for you being here. I pray you're blessed, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.